Hey guys, what's going on? I'm traveling this week, but I wanted to bring to your attention. Post Malone was on Joe Rogan's podcast and they were talking about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And Joe Rogan's just as scared as everyone else. Here's a clip from that show.
So how do you feel about the government's digital currency that they're working on?
No fucking way. No way. That's what I think. I think that's checkmate. That's game over.
That is fucking checkmate.
Because if they apply that to a social credit score, if they decide somehow or another that you need some social credit score system and it's for the benefit of society, and they outline that they can, track your behavior and your tweets and all your things, and you get a score. And if
already doing that, they just haven't released the fucking report cards.
Well, they don't have the kind of freedom that they like.
They didn't send the report cards home to the parents yet.
Right.
Everything is already imprinted. Everything is already tracked. Everything is already there.
But
we
they
just
can't,
haven't given a
They just can't control
to
you to the same extent that they would like. And what they would like to do is to be able to strip you of your money, and to be able to lock you down, and to make sure that you comply so that all the other people also comply, because they don't want to be stripped of their money. They don't want everything they work for just be taken away instantly overnight and be powerless. No one to call. No one's going to answer your phone. They just decided you fucked up and the rules are the rules. And so then where does that money go? Who takes your money? Who takes? And that's what when people start profiting off of confiscating people's digital currency, it's going to be a real fucking problem.
Well, it's not all fucking currency is digital.
Yeah, but the idea of them controlling all of the money.
And it's all unilateral. Yeah. It's all the same fucking thing.
It's all the same fucking thing.
That's a problem. And here's the problem, I think, is that people are going to do it due to convenience of it.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why central bank digital currencies scare a lot of people is for surveillance purposes. They think that the U.S. government or other governments around the world will be able to surveil and pay attention to what you're doing, how much money you're spending, who you're spending it with, when, and eventually they may even be able to censor you and not allow you to spend that money that you want to spend. But there's other things that I think are worth being really, really worried about. For example, what about personalized monetary policy? This would be a world where now there's not just one monetary policy for everyone. Instead, the Federal Reserve or the government would be able to give you high inflation and your neighbor low inflation. They may also be able to do things where they actually can take your money and make it devalue at a faster pace than your neighbor. Those are the types of things that aren't available today because it's a one-size-fits-all monetary policy. But the second that we enter into a central bank digital currency and we give over all sorts of new powers and intricate control of the money to the government, that then becomes much more likely and possible. Those are the types of things that are more scary to me. Yes, of course, surveillance and censorship are big deals. But today, there's all sorts of surveillance and censorship that goes on. But it's all about the new powers, the new technologies that will be available to these organizations. Now, of course, there will be ways to mitigate it. And I do think that central bank digital currencies are going to end up being a thing. But people need to be aware of what's going on. They need to be aware of what the risks are. And they need to learn more about Bitcoin, a technology that no one controls, no one can create more of, no one can give you a personalized monetary policy, no one can censor you, and no one can go ahead and confiscate the assets if it's custodied correctly. You can go and you can read the Bitcoin white paper. It's a great place for you to start, and then continue to pay attention to central bank digital currencies and the various research efforts that are going on around the world. Central banks are trying to figure out what this new technology is and how they can use it to better amplify their efforts. I don't know if it's going to end up happening here in the United States in the next 3 to 4 years, or if it's going to take a decade or more. Governments historically take a long time to do this type of stuff, but when they do it, they move very aggressively. And so, keep learning, keep paying attention, and go learn about Bitcoin.